Here's Mark Turgeon and Johnny Holiday.
And a very pleasant good evening once again, and welcome to the Mark Turgeon Radio Show. For the next hour, we will talk about Maryland Terrapins basketball coming off that huge win over the Ohio State Buckeyes Saturday at Xfinity Center, winning it by 35 points. Also, one of our special guests tonight will be Dion Wiley, who was unable to play this year because of an injury before the season began, and he'll be guesting with us. And also, we'll go back in time to remember that 1984 Maryland team, the last team to beat Ohio State, and that was Adrian Branch on that team with Len Bias and Herman Veal and Ben Coleman and a whole bunch of other great stars. So it should be a great hour of talking Maryland basketball with Coach Turgeon. When you go back, Coach, and look at that game against Ohio State, I just was talking to you moments ago about, can you play a more complete, almost perfect game than that? You were up by 44 in the second half at one time.
Yeah, I think from the 12-minute mark of the first half to the about the 10-minute mark of the second half is about as well as we can play. It was a pretty close game, there for a while, and then we just kind of exploded right before half. And we did a lot of nice things offensively and defensively, but most of all, we had rhythm offensively until the very end of the game, which was good to see. They made some shots early, but I thought we dialed in the game plan. We except for taking shot fakes by number 2 and jumping every time he shot faked, we were pretty dialed into the scouting report. So it was a good win. You don't ever expect those in league play. You really don't. Talking to you before the game, I expected it to be a really tough, close game. And it wasn't, but it's good, and especially when it's a noon on Saturday. It helps you enjoy your weekend a little bit. From
the 11:42 mark in the first half, you had a 2-point lead, 19-17. From that point on, for the next 28 minutes, 18 seconds, Maryland outscored the Buckeyes 81-48.
Yeah.
That's unheard of.
Well, and they got a lot late. They scored a lot of buckets late, and we were able to play a lot of guys, which was great. And everybody works hard, and I would have played Checo more. Checo was actually sick, missed a day of practice last week, and wasn't really feeling great on game day. He wanted to play, but wasn't feeling great. Or he would have played a little bit more in that game, and I was able to get even in. He works really hard, and all our non-scholarship players were able to get in and play, so that's always great. So it was a fun day. I was really proud of our group. I was happy for Robert Carter, who worked so hard. I told everybody we had walked through at 8 a.m. that morning, and time I get there about 10 till 8, he's already lathered up in the gym, getting a lot of shots up. So it was good to see him make shots and play well, and I thought defensively it was one of his better games also.
He took 13 shots, he made 10, he finished with a career-high 25 points in 23 minutes. And how about Rashid Suleiman with a season-high 22 points? He shot 9 of 10 from the floor.
Yeah, he made some shots now, and he made a couple tough ones. Yeah, when he hit the little fadeaway on the baseline away from our bench in the second half, I was like, okay.
Right. It's his night.
Yeah, it's his night. So it was good to see, and it's good to see guys like that score, and it just shows you the depth of our team. That on any given night, we got 6 or 7 guys that can put up good numbers, which is good to see. But Jared had a better game shooting the ball wise. He's been good defensively and playing hard. I thought he was active defensively in that game. Mello had 9 assists, which was terrific. Knew he didn't have to score a lot, so he didn't shoot a lot.
Right.
Diamond was Diamond. You turn around, he's got 15 points, and so we had a lot of guys play well. I thought DeMonte had a good game. He didn't score like he did at Wisconsin, but I thought defensively he was always in the right spot and did a lot of great things defensively for us.
One thing I know, Coach, that you had to be extremely pleased with, the 23 assists.
Yeah.
On the 37 baskets, that's a season high per assist, 23.
Yeah, we haven't been sharing the ball the way we're capable, and our shooting percentage was going down in league play. And the day before our game, we really shared the ball well, and we just urged our guys to, get back to sharing the ball, taking a great shot for our team, and we did that. And we played much more relaxed, I thought, against Ohio State than we've played in a while. You're going to win some, you're going to win a lot, you're going to lose some. But let's go out and compete every night and have fun. And we talked about not protecting anything, just going out and playing hard and doing it together. And I thought our guys did that. And hopefully we can keep that approach as the season goes on.
A young guy that's earned his way with more playing time, more minutes, is Maroon Ram. And we like to say he bothers the other team, he pesters the other team, he just gets under their skin. And he has really been doing a great job for you every time you call his number.
Yeah, I mean, we've you know, I was fighting it for a long time who to go with. We gave Jalen a lot of opportunities, and you know, we just haven't been the defensive team that I wanted us to be, and obviously Varun's a great defender, and I think it's really energized our team defensively. I think it's really helped Melo and Rashid, knowing that they got a guy coming off the bench that can guard. When you have Rashid and Varun out there together, we can really get after the guards well. And Varun's been here for 4 years. He gets it. He's been through it all. He has a great understanding of what I want. And, you know, he really helped us in the Michigan game, and I thought his energy on Saturday was terrific, too. And he did a great job defensively. So it's good to see. It gives us the depth. You know, since Dion went down, we've been fighting to find that depth, and it looks like Varun and Jalen at times is, you know, it's a long season, is going to, you know, create more depth for us.
You know, Coach, at the end of a game, when you beat somebody by 35 points, and it could have been a lot worse, you called off the dogs with a lot of minutes remaining. And sometimes the other coach is not going to be happy with that. But Thad Matta gave you the ultimate compliments. He's been in the national title game once, the Final Four, another time the Elite Eight as well. He said no team has ever hit the century mark against one of his Ohio State teams and played as well as your team as he saw the other night.
Yeah, we were good.
It's a great compliment.
Yeah, it was. He told me that right after the game, and I tried really hard to. It's hard because I don't have a lot of depth with the guard, but I really tried to get guys out, and but I also did it for us. You know, we have a game tomorrow night, quick turnaround. It's good to get as much time off as you know. Melo only played 26, I think. Rashid 25, something like that, and you know, it's a long grind season. But no, we were terrific. He said that meant a lot. We did make a lot of shots, and we played at a high level. And the thing that our guys did is they kept concentrating. You know, you're up 18-20 at half. It's easy to let down, and our guys didn't let down. So we're handling leads better. You know, we were behind the other day. I thought we handled being behind pretty well. We made a nice comeback. Guys competed. So there's a lot of scenarios that happen throughout the season. We're getting better at all of them.
Terrapins now go to 16-2. They're still undefeated at home at 10-0 in the Big Ten Conference. They are now 5-1. A little recap of the Ohio State game with the Terrapins winning it 100-65 was brought to you by our good friends at Toyota. Let's go places. When we come back, we'll visit with Dion Wiley in just a minute on the Mark Turgeon Radio Show from Buffalo Wild Wings in College Park.
Now, once again, live from Buffalo Wild Wings in College Park, here's Mark Turgeon and Johnny Holiday.
Hey, we got a chance to talk to a very special guest tonight from the Maryland Terrapins basketball team. It's brought to you by Capital One Bank, and that's the official bank of Maryland Athletics. And we speak of Dion Wiley, the sophomore from Potomac High School in Oxon Hill. Just waiting to get back to 100%, aren't you?
Yes.
Yep. November, you had that meniscus problem, had a little operation, and they're going to be out of action for 4 months, Coach. But he's at every single game with you, lending the moral support and working hard. The best thing is to see you off the crutches and walking the way you want to walk.
Yeah, I was really anxious to get off the crutches. It's really not for me. I've never been injured before. It was my first time being injured, so it really hurt me a little bit.
Yeah, and he, you know, he's going through it, and you know, it was devastating to everybody when he got hurt. And you think meniscus, you think, oh, he'll be back in a month or so, and you know, they were able to save his meniscus, which is terrific. They went in and they sewed it all together. Surgery went great, and his recovery's going great. He's on schedule, and we're hoping for 100%, you know, recovery, and he'll be as good as new. Probably middle of March would be my guess. He'd be at full strength again.
That's great.
Yeah, and so it's a blessing in disguise. You know, it's no fun for him going through it, but it's going to give him a chance to graduate. You know, work on his game, learn a little bit, and you know, mature. Sometimes you learn a lot, especially when you play a year and then you set a year and just kind of watch practice and watch the game. I think it's going to help him relax and be a better player in the future.
What have you picked up looking?
Really just defensively, he's been in the right spots. And I've been watching Rashid, how he presses the ball, and he's always in the right spots and he's communicating defensively. So that's really the main thing I picked up since I've been down.
Was that the main area you wanted to work on, focus on coming into this year?
Yes, I set a goal at the beginning of the season because Turgeon made us set goals, and one of my goals was to become one of the best on-ball defenders on the basketball team.
And Coach, you've said over and over many, many times, and I've heard you tell us at post-game and pre-game press conferences about how valuable he would have been had he been, able to play this year. And as you mentioned, you sit back and look and come back really stronger, maybe better than new.
Yeah, it was devastating because he worked so hard this summer. I mean, he was so good this summer. He wasn't playing as well in the fall, but this summer he was dominating in practice, and it was good to see. And he worked hard to get his body right. You know what? He's really done a nice job. Not being able to exercise, he's kept his weight down, and I'm sure he's gained a few pounds, but not an excessive amount. And he's able to get back in shape quickly. So that's a sign of maturity. Academically, he's doing some really nice things. He's having the time to do it. He's growing up in that aspect too. So there's a lot of positives. We'd love to have him out there right now. I don't know, he'd love to be out there, but there's a reason for everything, but we're proud of the way he's approaching the rehab.
Take us through the rehab process, Dion. You were in a cast for some time, weren't you?
Yeah, I was in a brace and on crutches for 6 weeks. I recently got off the crutches about 2 weeks ago, and now I'm just in a new brace, a bendable brace, because I got all my range of motion back. And that's really what I've been working on. Now I'm just working on strength, and I'm starting to jump a little bit. I just started jumping today and doing rehab, and that's pretty much it.
Have you run at all?
No, I didn't run yet. She said I may run between the middle of next week and the week after that and start jogging a little bit, but I'm not sure yet.
He was almost running the days, Johnny. He didn't see me, but he was walking back to his dorm, and it's cold out there. And that's the fastest I've seen him move since he got hurt. Trust me, he was almost a slow jog.
When you came out of Potomac, you averaged 17 points a game in high school. What was the big attraction to come to the University of Maryland for you?
Really, Coach Turgeon and the staff, they recruited me hard. Coach Turgeon would call me every weekend and ask me how my weekend went. And someone had told me, someone who was helping with my recruiting process, had told me the head coach isn't calling your phone and really wants you, then they don't really want you, they don't really need you. And Coach Turgeon was always calling me.
And you saw him early, did you?
Yeah, we got on Dion early, and I think he's a very quiet person, and he'd come visit us, and I'm like, God, there's no way this kid likes us. He won't say a word. And this was early in his sophomore year, and then each time he got a little bit more comfortable, and the people around him kept saying, "Oh no, Coach, he likes it here, he likes you guys a lot. Trust me." And they were right. And this is where Dion wanted to be. This is where Dion should be. And it's going to be a great story. I told him today he's doing very well academically. He's in a winter term right now, doing well. It's going to be a great story when he graduates from the university.
I think everybody remembers, Dion, last year when you played against VMI, you had 19 points in a game that you could hardly miss a shot. One of your better games.
Yeah,
if not the best game you played.
I think it was one of my better games. Probably not defensively, but early in the game I was really bad. And Coach Turgeon and the staff, they all talked to me at halftime and told me to just believe in myself and be more aggressive.
What was the biggest challenge coming out of high school to college?
Really just working hard on practice and getting my body in shape. I thought I had my body in shape last year, but I really didn't. And looking back on film from last season, I was really kind of still overweight compared to where I was playing at this summer. That's probably the biggest transition is working hard.
Now, Diamond said coming in here, his biggest problem has been getting to have Kyle Tarp like him a little more. he worked with Kyle and worked a few pounds off, and he got him in great shape.
Yeah, I really didn't have a problem with Kyle.
None of you guys did.
Yeah, we don't mess with Kyle. Everybody, nobody mess with Kyle.
I'm sorry, Coach.
Well, and Dion's a tough kid, so I mean, you can push Dion, and he'll keep coming back with it. But just don't forget the game he had against Valpo in the NCAA tournament last year, when we were really struggling against the zone. Jared came in, I think, him and Jared combined for 7 threes in that game, when no one else could really make a shot against their zone, and he made 2 huge ones in the second half. As you remember.
Yeah.
And then he made a big 3 at Purdue, and I can go on and on. He made a lot of big shots. Him and Jerry made a lot of big shots for us last year. So he had a terrific freshman year, and a little setback now, but it's going to make him. His career's going to be better because of what he's going through right now.
So you just continue to rehab and continue to work and keep eye on practice and visualizing things that you would do when you're on the floor when you get back on the floor.
Yeah, I really just analyze and see what Jared's doing, Rashid, Melo, because I think I'll be one of the primary ball handlers next year. I see how he operates in pick and rolls, and I like how he gets to the rim, and I just want to get to the rim like Rasheed and Melo does, and that's going to help my game.
Well, it's great to have you with us, and to continue the rehab. Let's hope it gets the next few weeks and months fly by, and you'll be back out there before you know it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Dion.
Thanks, Dion.
No problem.
Dion Wiley with us. He'll be back before you know it, and a valuable component to this Maryland basketball team. When we come back, we'll visit with former Terrapin Adrian Branch on the phone out there in Phoenix, Arizona, in just a minute on the Mark Turgeon Radio Show, the Buffalo Wild Wings in College Park.
Go places.
Now, once again, live from Buffalo Wild Wings in College Park, here's Mark Turgeon and Johnny Holiday.
And we will be back here again on Monday night, a week from tonight, for our next broadcast of the Mark Turgeon Radio Show. I hope you'll have a chance to stop by and visit with us 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock next Monday. On the telephone now from out in Arizona is Adrian Branch. And Coach, the last time a Terrapin team knocked off the Buckeyes back in 1984, 76-73, off to an 11-2 start that year, and Adrian Branch remembers that extremely well, don't you? Don't you?
I remember it.
How many points did you have, Adrian?
You know what, Coach? I don't remember how many I had, but I'm proud of this. I'm still considered Maryland's all-time shot attempt leader. I'll take that.
Good for you. Someone's got to have that.
Excuse my hoarse voice, guys. I've been coast to coast and wearing a little thin, so I'm trying to build it back up.
Okay. Well, we'll do most of the talking. So you say you're coaching right now? I know you're working for the network.
And yeah, still ESPN.
Still ESPN. Let me just give the fans who may be listening, Adrian, and you can try to get your voice back. He's fifth all-time in scoring at Maryland, 2,017 points. Albert King, Lenny Bias, Gravis Vasquez, Juan Dixon, the only guys ahead of Adrian Branch. 18 games and 30 points or more, 105 games in double figures, 34 of 37 double-figure games the 84-85 season. He is still fifth in career field goals, third in free throws made, and number one, averaging the most minutes a game of anybody. Averaged 34 minutes a game in his senior year. The record for most field goal attempts, 270 in 1985. That's a pretty good resume right there, Coach.
Wow, I didn't know I was that good.
Oh, yeah, you did, too. I know you did. I know you did. But, you know, when I talked to you yesterday about coming on with Coach and I, you didn't hesitate. You said, I would love to, because this is a team, as you look at them, they got national championship potential written all over.
Yeah, you know what? Hey, Coach, I know you're modest, and your success couldn't happen to a nicer guy. But Maryland, to me, is must-see TV. When I look at our Terps, you see three-point shooting, you see size. They're a very big team. And I'm not running from this statement. I say that Diamond Stone is a young Moses Malone. He reminds me of Moses, the way he's active in the post. He's closer in his activity to Moses Malone than, say, Dirk Nowitzki. So, man, every category is filled with the Terps. They're very good.
Well, I appreciate you would like Diamond, too, because he came in here and a lot of people saying things about him, and we've had to teach him how to work, and he's bought into that. And defensively, he's come the furthest. But, yeah, he's terrific on the boards, and every time he turns around, he's got a double-double. He's kind of mastered to miss the first shot, and so he can get his rebound and go up and get another one. So he gets a rebound out of it, offensive rebound plus a basket. He's gotten pretty good at that, but he's special. And you know, we got guys around that really helped him. Robert Carter's done a terrific job with him, mentoring him. Rashid Suleiman's done a great job. So yeah, he's been a terrific player for us. And but you know, I agree. When we're dialed in and we're ready to play, we feel like we can play with anybody. But you know how hard it is, AB, to do it every night and do it for the whole season. And hopefully we're playing our best basketball at the end of the year.
Coach, the only bone I have to pick with our beloved Terps is nicking. Tell that young man when Diamond is open in that post, don't have him call for the basketball.
Hey, you know what? He said he watched a lot of old film on you, and he said, I'm just trying to be like Adrian Branch.
You know what? Touche. That was good.
No, I hear you. But, we got Jared made a couple for us on Saturday, which is great. Helps stretch the defense. And, when all our guys are making shots, it opens it up for Diamond, opens it up for Mello, and so they can drive a little bit more. But, no, I hear you. I think sometimes we miss some guys, and we all like layups. The layups are great. And so we talk about that a lot.
Adrian, let me take you back.
You guys play. Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. No, go ahead.
When do you guys play Michigan again? Michigan played their best game, and you only lost to them by, say, a possession. Just like Carolina, 12 or 15 turnovers. Carolina played their best game. I would take both of those games at a neutral site in the tournament all day long and laugh all the way to the bank.
Yeah, we get them again. They're obviously well coached and played well. We're getting everybody's best shot, which is part of it. It's been great for us. It's been a great learning experience for our program. And I think last year we were ranked in the top 10 most of the league play, or top 15 most of the league play. So we're used to getting great shots from everybody, but it's helping us grow as a program. So, we'll get another shot at Michigan down the road. But they're a heck of a team. They're a tough matchup for us. But hopefully we'll play a little bit better defensively against them the next time we see them.
Adrian, let me take you back also. When you guys in that '84 season, when you went 25 and 12, I think you had Len Bias with you. You had Herbert Field. You had Ben Coleman. You had Jeff Atkins. You had some real outstanding cast of characters that worked with you.
Yeah, they were excellent. They defended well. And when you have a good team. Johnny, it was interesting. Coach, you'd appreciate this. We would sit around the dorm room in '84, my junior year, my best year at Maryland. We'd sit around the dorm room and keep ourselves accountable. Then when you open, be aware of the double team. Lenny dribble with your head up. Adrian play defense. I ain't like you saying that, but they said Adrian play defense. But they would be keeping us accountable, and we knew we had a good team. We had a good. You know when you're on to something special. When we won the ACC tournament, guys, it was anticlimactic, believe it or not. It was anticlimactic because we didn't want Duke and Johnny Dawkins. We wanted Michael Jordan. We gave them their worst beating the year before. We beat them, laid 103 or 109 points on them. Len Bias was getting good. We wanted North Carolina something bad, and we beat Duke instead of Carolina in the ACC tournament. But I tell you guys, when you know you're on to something special, it just clicks. And I think our Terps are really, really on to something special.
Well, when you talk about something special, we're going to take a break when we come back. I want you to talk a little bit about the final home game in the 81-82 season when #1 Virginia came to Cole Fieldhouse and you guys upset them. We'll do that with Adrian Branch when Coach and I come back in a minute on the Terrapin Sports Radio Network.
Go places.
Now, once again, live from Buffalo Wild Wings in College Park, here's Mark Turgeon and Johnny Holiday.
Now, keep in mind, tomorrow night's tip-off is set for 8 o'clock, not 7 o'clock at Xfinity Center, as is the normal time. 8 o'clock tomorrow night, and Chris and Walt and I will be with you at 7:30 for the game against Northwestern. The Wildcats come in 15-4. The Terrapins go to 16-2 with that win over Ohio State. Back in the 81-82 season, Adrian Branch was a freshman. At #1 Virginia came in town, Coach, and Maryland had lost to Virginia in Charlottesville. And you guys had a little something on your mind for payback time. And Adrian, that's one of the greatest games, I think, in the history of Maryland basketball.
Yeah, I was a freshman, and they didn't have a shot clock or three-point line, so Lefty had a stall, 4 out, 1 in, and it went to overtime, and I was able to hit a game winner over Jeff Jones, who coaches down at ODU. Yeah. Now, the interesting thing about this guy, Virginia had no mental advantage over us. So, because we weren't afraid of them, in fact, when you take Ralph Sampson out of the mix, we felt we were better and tougher than Othell Wilson, Ricky Stokes, Craig Robinson. We knew those guys from the summertime to the D.C. area. They had no mental advantage on us. So we were able, it was a magical night, hit that game winner. It was a lean-in, 15-footer. They weren't calling an offensive foul on that one at home. And the biggest thing I took from that is that we knew we were tougher than them, and they had no mental advantage over us. So we didn't give away points.
And you held the ball the last, 4 minutes and 10 or 4:15 before you took that shot?
Yeah,
there was no shot clock.
You're right. It's interesting. And where you just mentioned for myself and Lynn Bias to be able to score 2,000 points in our era, and Mark, you played in that era as well, there was no shot clock, there was no three-point line. So just think about if we had a shot clock or a three-point line, we could probably score even more points.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing you guys scored over 2,000. That's hard to do. And kids stuck around back then more. Good players did, obviously. But, the shot clock, the three-point line in '86, we had a great team at the University of Kansas. We lost in the semis, and we had great shooters all over the floor, and we didn't have the three-point line. We felt like it came the next year. If we would have had it that year, we'd have been, probably national champions. But that's the way it goes. Keeps you plugging.
But I do like it now, guys, because it displays skill, and I love it to even be in high school across the board to have a shot clock because it forces you to display skill. Show us what you got.
Yeah, I like the way our game's heading. I wasn't sure about some of the new rules, but obviously it's been good for our game. Actually, they're calling less fouls. I don't know if you've noticed. Teams are adapting and not fouling as much, especially around the rim. I think we coach that better instead of trying to take charges all the time because of the art. We're jumping straight up and hands back, and there's less fouls around the rim now. And then just on the perimeter, kids are playing smarter because they want to play. And I think the game goes better. The games seem to go faster. There's less free throws. Of course, I'd like our guys to shoot 30 free throws a night, but I think that might be gone. I think everybody's kind of adjusted and doing a good job adapting to the new rules.
Coach, if I can ask, is Melo, are we seeing what we're seeing with this young man? Is he really that good? I mean, he seems to just have a clock inside of himself when they call his number, when they hit a big shot, driving dish. I mean, he's putting himself in the argument as Maryland's greatest point guard. He is something special. Yeah,
he's terrific, and he's even a better kid. And, last year after every game he'd have a lot of points, and I just kept saying, oh, he's a winner, he's a winner. He had 9 assists against Ohio State. We didn't need him to score, and he just made winning plays. So, yeah, he's terrific. He's gotten so much better. He's much more of an all-around player this year than he was. He's a better leader. He's a better defender. He's a better assist guy. Runs the team better. So he's been a lot of fun to coach, and he just does whatever it takes for us to win. AB, you'd love to be around. He's been a great teammate. You'd have loved playing with him.
All of those guys, and it looks like, Coach, and it's not an insult. It looks like you don't overcoach him. It looks like you don't overcoach that team. You give them the instructions.
Yeah, I really try.
Let them play within the team concept.
Yeah, I really try. We put in some good stuff, and our offense is equal opportunity. We run a break, and we run a secondary break, and we run a motion offense, and it's just equal opportunity for guys, and our guys read it and play off each other. And I don't have to call that many plays. I think I only called maybe 6 or 7 plays the other day versus Ohio State. But a lot of our stuff is reads and things that we put in this summer and started putting in last year. We try to run a version of the Spurs offense the best we can and just get out of their way. And when you have good players, that's easy to do.
And then it's really about, Coach, what's happening with the cupboard next year? How's it restocking for you, the recruiting classes?
Well, we'll see what happens here when the season ends, where we're going to be, and how many guys are going to move on, how many are going to stay. That's going to have a lot to do with it. But we signed 2 good guards early, we'll have some work to do. We're going to have to do some things late, signing late. Hopefully we'll get lucky with a couple pieces, to keep it where it is. We have to do that. But, we'll see. Lot's got to play out over the next few months to see where we're going to be.
And Adrian, one thing they can't take away from you, they can't take away the memories you have of Maryland. They can't take away that Lakers championship ring from 1987.
Oh, you know what? I am a Terp through and through. We moved to Phoenix, Arizona. My wife loves the heat. I couldn't talk her into moving back. We've been together for 31 years. So she followed me for 30, and this is what she wanted to do. So I'm going cross country. But hey, guys, I'm a forever a Terp.
Thanks, Adrian. Thanks for coming on.
Hey, thank you.
We'd love to see you whenever you get back here.
Oh, sure. See you soon.
Okay, we'll look for Adrian also on ESPN. He does analyst work for a lot of major games and one of the super guys to play at the University of Maryland. We got some emails for Coach Turgeon when we come back. Buffalo Wild Wings in College Park after these messages.
Go places.
Now, once again, live from Buffalo Wild Wings in College Park, here's Mark Turgeon and Johnny Holiday.
And time to take a look at the inbox to answer some emails for Coach Turgeon. You got a question for Coach? All you have to do is visit umterps.com and click on the Ask Coach Turgeon button. Brought to you by the University of Maryland Medical Center. One from Sarah Penner in Mount Vernon, Coach. We hear the term ball screen used quite a lot. Explain to us less knowledgeable fans, just what is a ball screen.
Well, it's when a player on the floor has the ball in his hands and his dribbles live, and most of the time it's the 5-man, a big kid coming up and setting a ball screen, meaning he can go off that screen and use the dribble. It's the most used screen in our game today. It's the hardest screen to guard. And we've gotten better, this team. It's why we've gotten better defensively. Our ball screen defense has gotten a lot better, especially Diamond Stone. So we've set a lot of them for Mello. You'll see guys run up the floor and set ball screens for Mello, usually a big guy, and his dribble's live, and that's what a ball screen is.
First time facing Northwestern, you beat them 72-59 at Evanston. What are some strengths that Northwestern showed in that first game against you you've emphasized to your team? That's from Richie Saunders in Rockville. Well,
they have two terrific guards that score a lot of points for them, and so they'll get a lot of our attention. They run a tremendous amount of sets, and you can't overload our guys, but our guys did a pretty good job of having a good feel for their sets and how to guard them. They're adding a piece. The big center, Ola, will be back. He didn't play against us the first time. A terrific player. He should play. I don't know what his minute, they're limiting him on minutes. He played 7 minutes on Saturday. I'm sure he'll play a little more against us. And then we got to do a better job against their matchup zone. We didn't do a great job, I thought, against their matchup in the first game. So we put a little bit more into that.
Email from Frank Hinkle in Arlington, Virginia. After tomorrow night's game against Northwestern, you travel to East Lansing to take on Michigan State. How do you plan to contain a guy like Denzel Valentine? And that's from Frank Hinkle in Arlington.
He's not allowed to ask that question until we play Northwestern. I can't answer that.
Thanks for the email, Frank. Appreciate it.
That's just my superstition.
All right. Julie Hoffman from College Park wants to know, are you ticked off at Frank Hinkle? No. What has been your favorite moment about this year's season thus far?
Favorite moment? I don't know if I have a favorite moment. We're having a lot of fun together. We laugh a lot. We enjoy being around each other. I'm sure the players have a lot more favorite moments. But just maybe the Georgetown game, just being a part of that was a great experience. And the Mello shot was a big-time shot at Wisconsin, just getting a tough road win and just everybody celebrating him in a big-time shot.
And a final one from Antoine Davis in Tacoma Park. Between North Carolina, Wisconsin, and Michigan, what's been the toughest place to play thus far for the Terrapins?
Oh boy, they're all hard. North Carolina played well. They were ready for us. The building was electric. Wisconsin was really fired up for us, and so was Northwestern. But Wisconsin was fired up because of Diamond, and so it was a little bit more electric in there probably because of Diamond. That was a tough place, and they're a good team, obviously. And then Michigan, as you said, they were ready to go. Students were lined up, and they were ready to play. So probably have to say they've all been hard. But I do think each time we get a little bit better on the road. We didn't particularly play, great defensively against Michigan. They made a lot of good shots. Give them credit. They deserve to win. But I do think we get a little bit better with each road game.
If you got a question for Coach Turgeon, go to umterps.com, click on the Ask Coach Turgeon button on the basketball page, brought to you by the University of Maryland Medical Center. We will come back and take a look at Northwestern, the Wildcats against the Terrapins tomorrow night, 8 o'clock at Xfinity Center, and the Mark Turgeon Radio Show continues in a minute.
Go places.
Now, once again, live from Buffalo Wild Wings in College Park, here's Mark Turgeon and Johnny Holiday.
And the Miller Coors Cold Hard Facts Series History brought to you by Coors Brewing Company. Remember, 21 means 21. Terrapins tomorrow night against Northwestern. They lead the all-time series 3-1. They won the last meeting in Evanston on January 2nd, 72-58, in a night that both Rashid Suleiman, he had a tremendous night that night, as did Mello Treble, Coach. They combined 40 points, 14 assists, and 14 rebounds between those two guys.
I think 1 turnover, I believe. Yeah, they were terrific, and we played well that night. We really did. I think we went in there, and at the time Northwestern was a very confident team. They were 13-1. Yeah, the building was live, and it was a huge game for them. So we stepped up, and now they're coming back here. We got to figure out how to do it again.
And they got a terrific guard in this kid, Bryant McIntosh.
He's good. He's great in ball screens. He can shoot the ball. He's a good player. He's tough. He's very confident, and they have a good team. You know, whenever you put that many shooters on the floor, it worries you, and we got to be great defensively from the beginning tomorrow night.
It's going to be a packed house again tomorrow night, too, I think.
Yeah, it should be. And, 7 o'clock, it's a later start time, which is good for the fans, I think, as far as getting there on time. But our fans have been terrific, so I believe every ticket's sold for the rest of the year. That's a good feeling.
Drive safely going back to Kensington tonight. It's cold out there.
Yes, it is cold.
Thank you, Coach. Thanks so much. Head Coach Mark Turgeon alongside. Thanks for joining us tonight for the Mark Turgeon Radio Show. Tom Marquito's been our technical director up there in Baltimore, and our Turtle Network Control, Tish Wright, has been our engineer. Join me, Chris Nocky, and Walt Williams tomorrow night, 7:30 for tonight. For Coach Turgeon, good night.
The Mark Turgeon